Unlocking marital bliss. You're so much welcome this very afternoon. Cyrus Road is my name, and I'm glad that you tuned in to Unlocking Marital Bliss. It's such a pleasure to have you here, and I'm always excited to be here. And I want to make this so true to you. I want to make it so real to you that tonight you are going to see something quite wonderful, quite life changing. It's going to come out because we're still talking about fatherhood, okay? You know, we do an introduction to fatherhood, and we did it the other time with my special guest. And once again, we are doing it this very day. We want you to understand the role of a father, what a father ought to do. What does it mean when we talk about introduction to fatherhood? What does it mean? Do you know that actually most people, now this is United States, over 18 million children grow up in a home without a father. 8 million children grow up in a home without a father. Those are statistics according to the United States in their country. And now here in Uganda, I've not had anybody make any of those statistics, but I think we're running in the same direction. Absentee fathers, people that sire children and they walk away. Men are scared to be men and they abandon families because they just didn't know what it means to be a man or how to be a father. Tonight, this is what we're going to be doing to teach you how to be a man and how to be a father. In just a minute, I'll see you. Unlocking marital bliss. Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're still watching Unlocking Marital Bliss with Miss Iris Rod. Now, we've talked about fatherhood, and that's where we want to continue tonight with my guest, Brian Semfuma. You're so much welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of this, because we started talking about introduction to fatherhood, and it was so big we couldn't even finish it up the other time. That's why we go ahead with it today. Introduction to fatherhood. And by the time we closed in there, we were still talking about fathers getting to know love.
Yes.
Because the role of a father, or the definition of a father, is about the one who reveals love.
That's right.
That's what we discovered. A father reveals love. Now, when a father reveals love, what else should a father do? Now that he has revealed love, does he wake up in the morning and say, "Yeah, I'm a father. I reveal love because I was able to
Sire children.
sire children"?
No. I like the question, but I would want to start from boys to men.
Yes, sir.
You hinted on it in the introduction.
Yes, sir.
The challenge we have in this country, or in the countries out there,
Yes.
is because we have boys becoming parents.
Parents.
You see, I don't want to use the word father because that's a very grave, big word. They become parents at a very, very young age.
Yes.
Young age, I mean mentally.
Yes.
They have never had an opportunity to move from being a boy to being a man. A man doesn't run.
Mm-hmm.
A man faces challenge head on.
Yes.
Let me use this example. When I was growing up,
Yes.
my father didn't have variations between female and male.
Okay.
So when we were growing up, he clipped the ego bit of a man. Because you see, what hinders a boy to become a man is ego. There is an ego bit right there. We'll explain it a little bit further. But when we were growing up, I remember we never had variations that the girls are supposed to cook, the boys are supposed to sweep outside. No, we did everything together.
Yes.
We had turns.
That's how it ought to be.
And that's how it ought to be. We had turns to cook. We had turns to clean the house.
Yes.
We cleaned everything that he told us to do.
Yes.
To a point that it stopped being a command. It started being a part of our lives.
Yes.
It became so much part of our lives that, to the point that when I got married,
Yes.
it was not hard for me
To clean the house.
to do everything.
Cook.
Remember,
Do all the house chores.
if you do the house chores, I'm the man. Remember, I'm the man. I
Yes.
only need a helper to help what I'm doing. So if I'm in the house,
Yes.
cleaning is my responsibility.
Yes, sir.
She's only helping.
Yes, sir.
You get the point.
That is true.
So moving from a boy to a man needs fathers
Yes.
teaching the boys
Yes.
what exactly love is. That's why you say a father reveals love.
Love.
Now, love in the father sense is broken down in several aspects. We talked about it last time. He's a source.
Yes.
He's a nourisher.
Yes.
He's a sustainer.
Yes.
He's a provider.
Yes.
He's a protector.
Yes.
Now, if my father does not show me that aspect,
Yes.
it is harder for me to mature from being a boy
Yes.
to becoming a man. That's
A
why so
man.
many boys are looking for moms
Yes. In their wives.
in their wives.
And they don't realize there's no mama there.
Exactly. So that's the challenge we have today. And you see, the media is not helping.
Oh my God.
The books that are being written are not helping.
Not at all.
Because sometimes when I look at these cartoons we watch,
Yes.
our kids watch, the cartoons in there, the small young children are responding to their parents.
Yes.
They are talking back.
Yes.
They are resisting help.
Yes.
They are resisting the training. And this is what our children are allowed to take in.
Yes.
Now, I wouldn't dwell so much to the fact that we can't do anything about that.
No.
The challenge we have is that our fathers have refused, we the fathers have refused to respond to God's love.
Thank you.
Because when we respond to God's love, it brings relationship. The connection we
Yes.
talked about last time.
Yes.
That connection is way important for us being men than I would say any other creature.
Thank you.
Because
Thank
we are initiators, we are
Yes.
starters, we drive the vision, we
Yes.
discipline, we disciple,
Yes.
we train.
Yes.
We can't forfeit this. We can't. There is no easier way out.
And, but you know, and this, you've said it so well, but this is where the problem is. That men are so scared of being men. The greatest fear of a male outside there is being a man. The reason many men out or males out there, boys, would rather sleep with a girl but not marry her is because of the fear of being a man. The commitment. Because manhood is commitment.
Yeah, you see, this
You get
is the thing. I would rather have the easier way out.
Easy
Because
way out.
that means I don't have to be the source.
You don't have to be the nourisher.
I don't have to be the
You don't
nourisher.
have to be the sustainer.
No.
Everybody calling on you.
No.
Everybody running to
You
you.
see, that's the challenge. The boy is so afraid
Of everybody.
of the things that come with fathering, with
Demand on
the
him.
demand on him. You see, the demand wouldn't be hard if he understood God's love for him.
Thank you. Say that
Because
again.
you see, fathering would not be hard
Yeah.
if you understood God's love for you.
Yes.
If I understand God loves me, it becomes easy to transfer
The same love
the same love, to release it,
to others.
to reveal it
reveal it to
to my
others.
children.
Yes, sir.
Because the thing is, which we don't understand, is that we produce ourselves. God produced, he said, let us make man in our image.
Yes.
He made me in his image.
Yes.
God never runs dry. He never gets tired.
No.
He never gets tired.
No, sir.
And that's the DNA I have.
Yes.
I can't get tired because someone is asking me for something.
Oh, but most of the guys today, they're complaining. And you know, guys need to get this. The solution is you need to connect. You cannot be a father if you're not connecting with the father. You cannot. So if you're not connecting, how are you going to be a father?
You see, this is the thing. When we talk about being a source, so many parents watching us out there, not the fathers, the parents,
Yes.
they are thinking, how can I be the source when everything is not going right?
Yes.
You see, when we explained it last time, I think we didn't go deeper for someone to understand who a source really means.
Yes.
You talked about it. You said a source is a revelation of who God is.
Yes.
So if I'm revealing love, I'm revealing the source.
Yes.
It's never about me.
No.
It's never about me. And you see, that's where the challenge is. We look at our fathers, we who are fathering right now,
Yes.
and there was a lot of lacking.
Yes.
Because the challenge was that most of our parents didn't know Jesus Christ.
Not at all.
They had never had the opportunity to be exposed to God's love.
That's true.
So whatever they dealt with us was in a short-circuited version.
That's true.
It was broken.
It was perverted.
It was perverted. It was earthly.
Yes.
They told us, you will make your own things.
Yes.
You will not bother me. Go play with someone else. Go to your mother. Go to your auntie. They always chased us away.
And do you know that is what is happening Now they are ripping it, many of them, because they never built a relationship with the children. They always pushed us to the mothers. Now mothers are more connected to the children. So when the children grow up, they run to mothers. One time I was at a conference and a gentleman raised up his hand and he asked me, he said, I've been married for 30 years and above, but I realize my children have ganged up with their mother against me, which is not good. I'm the one who paid their fees. And it was a conference, and I looked at him. I asked him a question. I said, thank you for paying their fees. I bought their clothes and everything, but now they don't even care about me. I said, what you did, you never loved them. You never raised them. You left that responsibility to the woman. And now your children started connecting with their mother. They thought fathers are always aloof. They thought fathers always stay apart. Now in old age, he was above 60. In old age, you've become a loner. You get it? You've become a loner because of the things you did while you were young. You never were there for your children. And this is one thing one era fathers are doing. They forget that I have to lay down my life. I have to be there for my children. Recently, I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she was talking. She had gone to certain school. It was like Parents' Day, something like that, where parents go in and check out to the kids. And they were like, okay, now that you've come in, they said the parents were many. But she said probably about maybe 100 or 200. And said of the parents that came, there were only 3 men. The rest were ladies. Only 3 men. Now imagine about 200 and they got only 3 men. Now where are these guys? These are the guys that are growing up. They're loners. You get it? They're loners because they don't understand how to treat this creature called a woman, nor how to behave with these creatures called children, because they don't have a connection with the father. Now they don't understand love, so they think the best way, mind my business, I pay school fees, I buy you clothes, I have no time to be at school, I have no time to attend your class day or your sports day. I can tell you, Brian, I literally attend class day, sports day, whatever. These are the things. Yes, my father never did that for me, but I've learned it and I go there.
So Pastor Cyrus, that means that my frailties, my problems before,
Yes.
being fathered by someone who was absent, don't
Yes.
necessarily mean that they should come into my new home.
Not at all.
Okay.
Somebody in the past, you see this.
Because we're helping someone who thinks I was
Exactly.
yes.
You know what? This was because my father, No. This is how it works. It doesn't matter who made choices for me. I had no opportunity to say no. For example, I never chose my father. Neither did you. You get it? So they made several choices for us. But when I become of age, nobody makes choices for me. So it doesn't matter the choices my father made that would have affected me. Now I have to make the choices of a good life, the choices that have to flow in the way a man ought to be.
I like how you started when I came of age.
When I came of age.
Yes.
How
when you move from being a boy,
yes,
to a man. I think let me put it this
before
way.
you go.
Yes.
Right there. Because many times we talk about being a man and some people are thinking, yeah, I got muscle. Yeah, I'm mean.
Yeah.
And all this stuff. But being a man, this is the definition of God.
Yes.
You're not attaining manhood if you don't understand love.
Exactly.
1 Corinthians 13 says, when I was a child, spoke like a child, thought like a child, acted like a child. When I become a man, now look at that. When I become a man, I put childish ways behind me. Now, in becoming a man, it's a process of putting childish ways away. A process of putting childish ways away.
Yes.
What are the childish ways? Childish ways are the ways for you to define childish ways, you need to define the spirit of a child.
Yes.
Self-centeredness.
Self-centeredness.
You get me?
Mm.
That's the characteristic of every child. Self-centeredness.
Yes, me, myself,
So
and I.
me, myself, and I. So I thought like a child. This is how a child thinks.
Yes.
Who's gonna take care of me?
Exactly.
It's gotta be about me. You're preparing a meal for a child, and they're throwing a tantrum already.
That's right. That's right.
You get it? Because the meal is not coming in on time.
That's right.
Yet you're just preparing it. But they expect you to do all that. You get me? Now this is what happens. A child is thinking like a child.
That's right.
Now that you're a man,
There's a transition. You start
A
thinking about other
transition.
people.
you're thinking about others.
How do I
How
provide?
do I go and lift them above me?
Yes. Yes.
If I am married, how do I seek the interests
Of
of my
the other?
wife
Yes.
above me?
Yes.
How do I seek the interests
Of the children.
Of the children. So a man is a savior.
No
You-
wonder God put in principle
Yeah.
to give a dowry.
Yes.
Because in essence, a dowry is a statement of
That I am able.
I am able to take care of you and extend that love to your family.
Yes.
It's a giving principle.
I like that.
So, yes.
Look at this. You see, you bring up these things and you just stir me up. When you talk of the dowry, do you know the challenge you have today? Most guys bring dowry for showbiz.
That's the problem.
The boys don't understand
That's the problem.
what dowry is about. Even some elite fellows will go to court and say, we don't need dowry. We don't buy women. No, 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 no. Dowry is not buying women. It's a principle. You get it? It's divine. You see, even when God gave Jesus a bride, he paid dowry.
True.
And it was his life. So every man, you might take 20 cows. You get it? That's just the initiation.
Yes.
You get it? So you take 20 cows to let the parents know, I'm willing to lay down my life.
Yes.
So you bring 20 cows, not that you're paying or exchanging the gal for 20 cows. You're telling the parents, now this is a sample of what I can do.
Listen, Pastor Cyrus, if I ever come to a point of thinking the value I am attaching to the parents in appreciation is attached to the girl I am marrying, then I'm still a boy. I have not
Thank you.
matured
Thank you.
to the point. Because look, that
being a
is
father,
just
being a
one
man.
step of sacrifice.
One
Remember,
step.
if I am going to love this girl,
Yes.
I am going to love the entire generation, her
Yes.
people.
Yes.
And that's
Our
a
people
process.
become my people.
Let's go back. You started me up somewhere where you said love, a father loving a child, being there, present. So I want to
Yes.
use the example of Jesus.
Yes.
It was easy to send prophets.
Yes.
It was easy to give us the word, to just, release it, or appear in the sky and say, this is the way.
Yes.
The man
The man.
came down on the earth
Yes.
in form of a baby
Yes.
boy.
Yes.
He
He
studied,
accepted the process.
he accepted the process. He studied
Yes.
to a point that he became a man
Yes.
to take up the responsibility of saving you and me.
Yes.
That's the process.
Yes.
Now, some people think that when you buy stuff for a child, you're loving them. No, you're just feeding the want.
Yes.
You're not loving the child. Children have so many wants. As the generations change and transition, and we have so much social media, we have so many things coming on market, the wants grow.
Now, actually, you've brought it out. You give them the things in order, you give them their wants, and you believe you're really loving them. Somebody can give you things without loving you. But when somebody loves you, things will follow. Now, with us, somebody can give you things without loving you. But when somebody loves you, they will give you. You get it? So love has got to be priority. Now, what people don't understand, most parents, they are not loved. Most parents are not loved. They don't know what love is.
That's the challenge. You see, let me throw the spanner. Let me throw a spanner in the works.
Go ahead.
Men today are complaining about the ladies they meet.
Uh-huh.
You'll hear that
What do
of
they
the
say?
you were counselor,
Yes.
you're a pastor. You've had this
Yes.
several times. We
Yes.
come and say this lady is not living to my expectations.
Yes.
She's hindering me from being a father. She's hindering me from being a good daddy. She's hindering me from being a good husband. Now listen to this. The absent fathers
Yes.
who only meet the wants
Yes.
have brought a challenge even to the girl child to think that a man is just an ATM machine.
Yes.
You see, the problem is not just this
Thank
guy
you.
they've married.
Go ahead.
The challenge is that the fathering is lacking
Yes.
because of that very aspect that you are talking about. They do not know how to be loved, or the love is present, but they actually do not know how to receive it.
They don't know how to receive it. They don't know how to experience
Because first of
it.
all, I'm thinking, since I am the breadwinner,
Yeah.
you don't have right to tell me what to do. Because if you're loving on me, you have to respond to what I say. You see, that's how fathers are. I don't need to listen to you.
In fact, not even fathers. Now, we got to use these words.
Yes.
These fellas that have failed to be fathers,
Okay, the boys.
the boys,
Yes, they do not know how to receive love.
the big boys.
The big boys.
Yes.
They don't know how to receive love. They don't know how to dispense it because they've never
If
received
you've
it.
never received it, you cannot dispense it. In fact, this is so big. Take a look at this. They don't know how to receive it, so they cannot dispense it. Have you realized most men, even right here, don't know how to express love?
No, they don't.
They think it's not manly to express love.
Let me put it this way.
Just holding a woman's hand. Oh, hey, you don't touch me.
Don't
hey.
touch me. It's only in the
You-
first process, Nsumba.
Only-
When you had just started.
When you just start.
That happens because you're trying to show your other buddies that I got something.
And then after that,
You
As a
remember
boy.
I'm empty. I'm a boy. I don't know how to love. You run off. Listen to this. A man does not know how to dispense love. Men out there watching us today.
yes,
Simply because of what you talked about, the fear.
the
Now,
fear.
I wanted to go a bit deeper in the fear aspect.
Yes.
Now, for me, when I was growing up, my father would spur you on. I'm gifted that God gave me a good father.
Yeah, man.
He's not perfect in the sense of, yes,
He's a good father.
but he's a good father.
Yes.
He would stir you. I remember one time in senior 4, I flunked in a paper which I shouldn't flunk. I was troubled.
Yes, sir.
I thought about changing my grades. I mean, because the boys were doing it at school.
Yes.
But then I thought to myself, no, let me go. I'll tell him something didn't happen right. I'll do it better next time. I took my report card to my dad and he said, well done. This one I know you can do better. I believe in you that this is not you. This grade here is not showing who you are. I know you can do better. The person in you can do better.
Now that's a father. Now you've had it exactly how fathers respond. They don't lose their head. They have faith in their children because they're so full of faith in themselves. They're so full of love. They destroy the fear. And now you are given confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in just a minute. I just have to take this break. Unlocking marital bliss.
A nursery bed is the basis of vegetable production.
So in a year, we plant 3 times. Basically, we begin in March to either July or June.
We want to put our onions, cabbage, and then tomatoes.
You have to start with a good, well-made nursery bed, and of course not leaving out a quality seed.
Currently, the level of hybrids is going up, unlike the OPVs, because the production of hybrids is higher.
COVID-19 is still here with us. As Owechtiwa Peter Maiga, the Prime Minister of Buganda, states, let us all take the necessary precautions.
Self-medication is always very dangerous. We should leave medical matters to the medical personnel. It's only a healthy population that can produce wealth. And if you want to work for your well-being, you must care about your health first.
Because of the new COVID-19 circulating variants like Omicron, it is very important for all of us to be fully vaccinated with 2 doses of the same vaccine type. It's only those getting Johnson & Johnson who receive only a single dose to be fully protected.
Even after vaccination, continue to adhere to all SOPs by wearing a mask properly, covering your mouth and nose, washing your hands regularly with soap and clean water or using an alcohol-based sanitizer, maintaining physical distance of at least 2 meters from others and avoiding crowds. Echa COVID-19 chijja kugwa. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and partners.
Unlocking marital bliss. Once again, we'll be back. This is Cyrus Rod. You're still watching Unlocking Marital Bliss, and this is the #1 show in the earth. Yeah, I know some of you may debate about it. Not here to debate with you. I'm here to tell you the truth. Watching Unlocking Marital Bliss is going to change your entire family, your love life, your family life, your manhood, your womanhood, whatever it takes. Before we took a break, we heard it from Brian, and you said you were you were loved by your daddy.
Yes, he was there.
Your daddy was not scared by your performance. No. Even when you were dirty at that point, he picked you up. Now, it takes a man that is very confident of himself, a man that knows what love is. Because when he's connected to the Father, he receives love. You see, when I'm suffering from rejection, one of the #1 things I do, or the major thing I do, is rejecting others.
And I close myself.
I close myself.
You see, why I gave that story is because I really wanted you to talk about rejection. Because remember, if my father had shunned me, the rejection we are fighting because of the fallenness of man would come into play at that very point. Yes. Being a man, I would be embarrassed. Yes. I would close in. Yes. I would not even receive any love at all.
And that is what many people are doing.
And I forged my way.
Yes.
I become so mechanical.
Yes.
To a point that I resist any change.
Yes.
Listen, boys can go to church.
Yes.
And not receive the love.
Absolutely.
Because of rejection.
Yes.
Please go ahead, talk about.
You know, when you go with rejection, the only solution to rejection is receiving unconditional love. I'll say it again. The only solution to rejection is receiving unconditional love.
From who? From the many kinds?
From the Father, not mimickers. From the Father, Jehovah God. And not only that, but when you meet real fathers, you can imitate.
Thank you. It's not in the cars that I drive.
No.
Not in the woman that I'm going to marry, the model.
No.
Not in the money that I achieve.
No. You see, you talk about models. Yes. Have you heard of people who marry, so-and-so married Miss Universe, and the marriage didn't work out, and they cheat on them? You see, some people think, getting married to a rich man doesn't ensure success of a marriage. Okay. You get it?
You're shaking some
tables.
Oh
yeah, the bottles. You hold on tight to your bottles. You can marry a rich man. Yes. You're never gonna. I've seen wealthy men in this country, and you see miserable wives.
They're crumbling.
Miserable wives. They don't know how to handle a woman. They don't know what to do with a woman. They don't know it's a problem. He says, I've given you money, I bought you a car, it's got private number plates, everybody knows you're my wife. What do you want from me? No, you can go shop from New York, from London, New York, and Paris, and that's where you do your shopping.
Just don't expose me, because I don't have love.
Because when you expose me, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm so scared. You see, where rejection is, there is fear. When a man has not received the love of God, because God's love is unconditional. You see what your daddy did to you? Instead of sinning and messing yourself up the more, you run to him. And you showed how dirty you were, how messed up you had become, and yet you are not afraid of your daddy. And because you are not afraid of your daddy showed you love. He said, by the way, you can do better at this. I know you're good. This is not you.
That is not saying that he did not punish us.
Yes,
I mean, that man knew how to wiggle a stick.
Fathers,
yes,
chastise.
True.
They train.
They train.
You get it?
Yes.
You see, training is not instructing.
You can say that again, because that's deep
right there. Training is not instructing. Okay. Anybody can instruct, but a father trains. That's why I even see it in churches. People talking about you got to get a mentor. Mentors instruct. Fathers train. Mentors are paid. Fathers are not paid to be fathers.
A mentor can have a bad day.
A mentor can have a bad day, whatever it takes.
Constant.
A father has to stay.
Constant.
That's the difference. See, to show people mentors is something that we've come up to try to negate fatherhood.
Yeah. To escape from it.
Escape from it.
Okay.
Because fatherhood has a high price.
Yes.
It's love.
Yeah.
Mentors don't need to love you.
Yeah.
And they don't have to.
Yeah.
Fathers must first love you.
Yes.
Before they can train you.
True.
You
get
it?
That's a process right there.
It's a process.
Yes.
They have to love you before they can train you. So if they've not received unconditional love, they're never going to be able to handle you or love you.
Yeah.
Now, not only that, but fathers move away from there and they get to a point where in training, they tell you something and they also demonstrate it before you. And for example, they say you're not ruled by your anger. Yes. They easily control their anger too. Yes. They easily demonstrate and then they will tell you to do it.
And they will show you, yes.
And they will show you how it's done. That's training.
I'm thinking, when you talk about a trainer or training, I'm thinking about a trainer. A trainer who gets someone from scratch.
Exactly.
He is seeing the gold in there.
Yes.
But the rubble, the soil, the dirt on that small piece of gold is intense.
Yes.
They are going to take time.
Yes.
There will be bad days where you say, just leave me alone. I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
And the father will say, no, I believe in you.
Yes, sir.
You can make it.
Come on now.
You see, that's why I think in principle today, in adoption, we have allowed the fathers to walk the ladies down the aisle.
Yeah.
In a demonstration, not just show off.
Yes.
But a demonstration to tell you, look, where you're going needs commitment.
Yes.
But I'm going to stand by you.
Yes.
To show you a father needs to be.
Yes.
If that young man is not well equipped, let him come.
Yes.
I'm a father.
I'll be there.
I'll be there.
You see, I love the way you've demonstrated that. The father walks down the aisle.
Yes.
He's confident, I've trained my girl.
Thank you.
I can let her go.
Yes.
But she will know I will always be here when you need me. Daddy will always be here.
Yes.
In other words, the father is saying, if there's anything, if I'm giving you my daughter, this is what I'm telling you. Yes. I loved her first.
Thank you.
So whatever you're going to do, I want you to know she knows what love is.
Yes.
I loved her first.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
I loved her first.
Yes.
I was there first. So you got to pick from where I stopped and take the bar higher.
That's where the challenge is.
And that's what
fathers are still struggling.
There is fear. You see, when a father is in fear, when a man is afraid, a male is afraid, with the responsibilities that come about, many watching us today,
they build a bubble
around themselves. The fear, I'll give you examples of a male in fear. They can't love.
No, they can't. They don't know.
They don't know. You see, perfect love casts out fear. So when there is fear, there is no perfect love. But the question is going to be, what is perfect love? Perfect love, some people are going to say, it's impossible to have perfect love. But perfect love is unconditional love.
Thank you.
You get it? Now, perfect love is unconditional love. You look at a woman, she's your wife, and she's messed up, and what do? You love her because the illustration you used, she may have dirt all around her, but the beauty on the inside, the diamond on the inside, you're willing to fight off all the dirt, and you say, I see diamond on the inside of you.
There is something that has hit me when you said that.
Diamond inside.
Something hit me when you said that. I'm remembering of certain men watching us right now who are thinking, now I got married to this woman, but she treats me like her dad. Look, the natural sense is that God made us to be fathers.
Yes.
We are the source. We are supposed to nurture, nourish, sustain, protect, and be a source.
Yes.
Any male person watching right now, that's who God made you to be.
You may not even have a wife.
Thank you.
But you can do all those things.
You can do all those things.
The potential is in there.
Yes.
Now, you see, when a woman sees you as a father, you see, in fact, you better celebrate it. Because look at this.
Saying.
The rib was gotten out of a man to form the woman.
Yes.
So that's why you call her your babe.
Yes.
She came out of you.
Yes.
Now, who do you expect to take care of what came out of you?
The father. Because he's the producer.
You're the producer. You're the father.
Yes.
So you can be there. You see, when men start complaining, it's because we are not doing what we are supposed to do.
We are so afraid.
We are so afraid. Men out there are so full of fear. And what do they start? In fear, they begin abusing women, call them every name.
I call that adoption. They adopt things that are not biblical.
That are not biblical.
They are not from the source.
Yes.
We men, I am speaking as a man. It's easy to adopt a certain thing and make it work. And it's not godly. It has no God in it.
And that is where, and that's the fear. You see, the more men stay in fear, the Bible says fear torments.
Yes.
You get it? Now, how can a man who's tormented
love someone? See, so we chase our children away
because we're being tormented.
We
We're
do
in
not
fear.
have faith. We don't have love anymore.
We don't know what to give them because we're not connected to the Father, and now we're so empty. Now we push them away. Now, when it comes to discipline, everything we push it to the mothers.
I remember a scenario when we used to sit at the dining table, because today in culture, people sit anywhere. Now, my dad made sure that we sit at the dining table for unity's sake.
Family time.
Family time. But this is what I noticed that was very important.
Yes.
He made sure, if you probably had a phone or a book or something, he said, put it down.
Yes.
Let's focus on what we are doing here.
Yes.
Then you'll go back and do. At first, it didn't make sense. But growing up now, it makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
That man valued the quality of time. He had something to give. He had love to give.
Yes.
And he never allowed anything to come in between him dispensing the love.
Amen.
Why did I say that? It's because today, the fathers are buying tabs. They are buying the bicycles. Now, you said you can give someone something without loving them.
Yes.
And in so doing, we do not love the children because we want to chase them away.
Yes.
We are buying these things so that we do not be exposed, that we have no love.
Thank you. You got to say it again.
We buy these things.
They're masks.
Masks so that they don't expose
that daddy is empty.
That daddy is empty.
Daddy doesn't have love.
So if a father does not fight for that space, my child is going for sports day, I'm there.
Yes.
My child is, they're achieving something, I'm there. My child is going through a torment. Yes. He's been bullied.
I gotta show up.
Yes. So if you negate those things, it shows that I've never received love.
And
I don't know how to dispense it.
You're very correct. I've never received it, so I can't give what I don't have. And now I'm trying to love the babies, and I can't even love their mother. Yeah. And this is, look, I usually tell guys, and I teach it many times, you meet a guy trying to love a woman. How do they start? By masks, projecting images. Because they fear this girl might reject me. So in being scared of being rejected, what does he do? He starts with, I came back from Germany the other day. Yes. I got some containers, goods I got to clear. and I have money. Name it, I'll give it to you. So when you meet a man who starts reaching out to you by simply showing off, look at this. Love is not boastful.
No.
1 Corinthians 13.
Yes.
Love is not boastful.
No, it's not.
So when you meet a man who is boasting, you
Against
just
himself, yes.
you just get to know,
That's an
not
image.
boasting in the Lord,
Yes.
but boasting all about it.
Individualism.
You get it?
Yes.
Oh, I have this. He comes with the car keys and he shows you. That's a boy.
Yes.
And so whatever happens thereafter, you know you took a boy.
Yes.
Because men don't need to boast.
Yeah. You fell in
You,
love
s-
with the image. not
you
the man.
fell in love. You went in love with a boy.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
And now when he does that, when your children come forth, he's going to be indulging them. Because he survives on indulgence. Indulgence makes him feel good.
Yeah.
He will drink.
Yeah.
He will drink to just try to feel good.
That's
He
right.
thinks the drinking and the drugs will kind of fill up the emptiness, the rejection, the feeling that I'm not worthy. You get it? That's the rejection. Feeling that I do not, you know,
Yeah. A boy
feel,
is
I,
always.
I do not mount up. I
Yes.
do not feel up. I do
Yes.
not fit. You get it? That's the rejection. I'm not good enough. I cannot be accepted.
Yeah. The father always exposes us when we have children. He exposes us that we need him.
Yes.
So the moment that I run away from him, I become that.
Yes.
I feel rejected.
Yes.
I feel I need to put someone down in order for me to rise up.
Yes.
I feel I need to achieve something. Achieving is not bad in itself.
Not bad.
But the thing
I
that
don't achieve at the expense of others.
if I put it at the expense of others,
That's
that you need to
selfishness.
respect me because I have these things.
No.
You see, that's why we have ladies today reminding their husbands, the fathers of their children,
Yes.
you need to put the child to bed. Please, can you go to school and see? Please, can you, there's a
But
struggle. There's a
Brad,
struggle.
That is very sad.
Yeah, because the men have projected an image. I made
Men
us so
are
busy.
hiding.
I am so busy. In other words, I'm running away. It's not
That's
the business in the sense.
It's
the
running
fear.
away, escape route.
It's the fear. I don't
The
have
fear
time
in me.
because if I invest my time in this little boy, this little girl, they're going to expose my emptiness.
Weaknesses.
My
They're going to
emptiness.
see that I don't feel
Yes,
I am
I don't know how to
somebody.
relate.
I don't feel I'm worthy.
There are men who I have witnessed myself where someone else has a child and they easily will visit and play with the kid, boo, 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 buy a few things, buy a few toys. And the women watching think, oh, this is a good man. He will be a good father. But the guy knows moments.
Yes.
He just knows moments.
The
He
right
has
buttons to
adopted
press.
certain things,
The way to behave.
the way to behave. You see,
But he doesn't have it in him.
when I respond to God's love,
Yes.
I don't need to be reminded
Yes.
of the nature that I am.
Yes.
The source, as someone who reveals love,
Yeah.
a nourisher. You don't have to remind me.
It just flows.
It comes out.
You're always coming out as number one.
You see, because when God comes into me and gives me that love, it is only necessary for me to release.
And you know, real fathers,
Yeah.
it's the image of God.
It is the image of God
God says he's an ever-present help.
in time of trouble.
Do you
Yeah.
get it?
Yes.
When your child is in trouble, you
come
better
back.
be there.
You come back.
Ever present.
So-
But you see, like you say, for fathers to go to that level, to really be fathers, then they've got to connect with God.
They have to.
Then
Because it's
when
only
they
God
know
who
that,
matures.
thank you. When God connects you and he shows you unconditional love, then you say, oh, I can be accepted the way I am.
Yes.
Then transformation begins to occur. When transformation begins to occur, then you are able to actually know that, guess what? I can give this away. I can give this
You
away.
remember Lord's Prayer when he says, let his kingdom come. You see, that's a responsibility that we forfeit as fathers.
Yes.
You see, God made me in his image.
Yes.
And out of me, his image, he brought the person that is connected to me.
Yeah.
My responsibility.
Yeah.
So if I forfeit the love of God,
Yes.
then I'll abuse
Yes.
what God has given me.
That's true.
I will not understand how to use it.
That's true.
And that's why we see absentee fathers
Yes.
so much today.
Yes. Yes.
Simply because we've never accepted God's love. That's the way I can put it.
We've never accepted.
We've
God.
never accepted God's love. We've never accepted His office.
Yes.
We've never accepted the responsibility He gave us.
Yes.
We've never accepted His love whatsoever.
Yes.
We know how to sire children because the functions work. Everything
That's true.
works on us.
Yes.
So we sire children just like that.
But we don't know how
But
to
we
love.
don't understand that God gave us a mandate to nurture, to bring up. You see, when He says that if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves, and I'll hear from heaven and heal the land.
Yeah.
There is a process that we need to do.
Yes.
We as fathers,
Yes.
we have to bring people back
To God.
to God. And that's our responsibility, the training.
You know, bringing people back to God is all connected to fatherhood.
That's what I'm saying.
And people running away from God still comes back to fatherhood.
They are no fathers.
When there are no fathers, children turn away from God.
Because now the
And do you know the best thing you can ever give your child, you know, is leading them to the Father.
You see, the fathers are now competing with the children. That's the challenge.
Now, they're competing with children because they've failed to be fathers. So they settle to being children also.
Yes. So there's a bit of competition.
So it becomes a competition for space. Because they're not supposed to be in that space. They're supposed to push forward, but they still want to be here. And then the competition starts. And hatred is built up.
That's right.
But what we need to understand is that a real father will be there. Nothing, Brian, makes a father to abandon. Nothing. For a father to abandon or leave their children,
They have to have rested. Sleep. Diet.
thank you. That's the only time. And even then, they never abandoned them. It was conditions. That's the only condition the father couldn't handle. That was beyond the father, where he had to leave earth. But as long as the father is on earth, training them, loving them, chastising, nourisher, provider, sustainer.
Sustain that child.
And you see, I'll tell you this, Brian. The reason most fathers are having a problem loving the children is because they don't love their mothers. The reason most fathers are having a problem raising the children is because you don't love the mother. If I receive love, I first give it to the mother. And then I can give it to the children. I can't say I can give it to the children, but then I can give it to the mother. That is hypocrisy. Those are lies.
I usually say this. The women are more like luminous objects.
Yes.
A luminous object put in the sun
Yeah.
will capture the light.
Yes.
When you put it in the darkness, it will give off the light.
Yes.
So if I love this woman,
Yes.
this love is going to transcend down to the children.
Exactly.
But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How would you talk to a man
Yeah.
who has found he has no respect for his dad right now, maybe because of the things that happened,
Yeah.
and he has found a dad in a pastor,
Yeah.
in a man of God,
Yeah.
who probably has come off as a mentor? I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the typical father in a pastor. There are
Yeah.
those who are real fathers.
Yes. And they are wannabes.
And they are wannabes.
Yes.
And they've totally, diverted the child
Yes.
from trying to reach out to their fathers. How would you talk to a man like that? They're probably watching.
This is what I say to a man like that.
Yes.
Number one, a real father will teach you how to forgive.
Thank you. You can say
That's
that
the
again.
first thing. A real father will teach you how to forgive.
Yes.
You see, this is what God says. Obey your father and mother. Look at that.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
That your days may be longer. Now look at this. Obey your father and mother. God would have said, don't obey your father and mother. I'm the real father. No. So any pastor that teaches the children to walk away from their parents is misleading, is not a father, he is derailing people.
This is
You,
Fatherhood 101. Right?
yes, sir. Yeah,
Fatherhood.
derailing people. And fathers chastise.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes.
So if you think he's your pastor and all he does is, oh, it's okay, just stay here, don't worry about them. They don't even help their parents.
Yes.
They don't even help their mother or father. The father needs help and you can't. You're giving all your help to the church and you can't help your parents because your pastor told you that, oh, yeah, God needs your support. No. Let me tell you something. You better repent right now where you are. Things don't work like that. And if you're a pastor and that's what you're doing to other people's children, I say this to you. You will rip it, sir, if you do not stop it. Okay? Because a man reaps what he sows. You better direct these children, show them who a father is, tell them how to repent, tell them how to forgive, let them bless their fathers as much as you think they can bless God. And that is it.
That is so powerful. Why I ask
My
that is
God.
because so many children, so many young people
Yeah.
are watching from their fathers
Yes.
who do not love their fathers. So the cycle does not break.
It keeps going.
Keeps going.
It's got to break. And this is what we got to do. I know our time is gone, but this
Wow.
is what we got
Wow.
to do.
Wow.
No matter what my father did,
We have not even touched the roles.
we've not even touched them. When I discover what my father did, I put it aside.
Yes.
I've grown up. Now I make the right decisions
Yes.
in God
Yes.
to be the greatest father of all.
Yes.
Brian, one word in 10 seconds.
I have so many words.
I know, my God. This is so rich. This is so
Wow.
beautiful.
I think, let me say this. I think we fathers need help.
We need help.
We need help. I think, I don't know about the producers and every, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to even say this, but I feel we need to talk
need to
about
do
roles. We need to bring in a lady here to tell us how they feel a father is for them.
Yes.
Because some men are wondering the women they have today. I know I'm
Yes.
supposed to say one word, but I have so many words. God bless.
Thank you so much. That is Brian Semfuma. And we've been talking about introduction to fatherhood. And we really want to dig deep in it because everything in relationship is connected to fatherhood, by the way. In fact, if you're failing in relationship, show me a man that is failing, having more than one woman, and I'll show you where his father is. I'll ask you where his father is. Show me a man that is a disaster, and I'll show you there's a problem with his father. They never had a father. But not in our generation. We're going to teach you. See you next time. Remember, marriage is easy, ignorance is hard. Unlocking marital bliss.